When they started this whole thing, they said that their criteria, if you looked at their criteria, it had nothing to do with tax breaks, right? They wanted to be near universities, great housing systems. They wanted to be where they wouldn't necessarily jack up home prices or disrupt the local area so much, where they would have transportation. So they laid out a bunch of things that they wanted, which narrows down the potential candidate. But they never said that, hey, if you don't give us this gigantic tax break, we won't show up. And some people are saying that's what they wanted the whole time.
Amazon is notorious for not wanting to pay taxes, so let's be clear on that. So
and pretty successful at it also.
And they have been. So let's be clear on taxes played a role in this. And, you know, from a standpoint of New York, so there's 300,000 tech jobs in New York City. So not gaining 25,000 more is not that big a deal. However, it's the messaging that New York is sending to say we are not really receptive to having tech giants come in, and maybe we don't want to compete for their business anymore. And one other thing, and you and I talked about this, Charles, when Amazon went to the $15 an hour minimum wage, the left was praising them. Now what happened? Amazon becomes the enemy instead of the friend of the left. So go figure.
I think it's the fact that it comes across that New York City isn't business friendly. I mean, that's what's concerning.
Well, the facts show that already. There's been a mass exodus of businesses out of New York State and New York City for a long time.
Well, make New York more business friendly for all businesses. You don't need to cut a deal with this company that hasn't paid federal tax in 2 years, even though the founder is worth over $100 billion. So I think there's a lot of optics that made this deal look bad. Look, the bottom line is the tech industry, look, the top 6 cities in the world for venture capital are all in they're all in America. And they collect half the money. It's Boston, New York, and 4 cities in California, LA, San Francisco, whatever. And it's not in low-tax places like Florida and Texas. And these companies Google is going to be at 25,000 people in New York in probably a year or two, because the talent's here, the infrastructure here, it's a quality of life. They need to be near the ecosystem. That says New York can't get sloppy and lazy because there's tax changes kicking in right now that you can't deduct these very high income taxes. Of those 6 cities, New York City is the most expensive place to
Which is why, by the way, a lot of individuals have left New York City.
So there's issues here, and New York needs to address those issues. But as far as handing out the red carpet to this company that went around the country trying to cut deals with everybody, I think they overdid it. I don't think New York has to do it. Other places have to. Nevada got Tesla because Texas lost them. Texas is a no-tax place, too, because they have stupid rules about not selling Teslas, which annoyed a billionaire. You don't want to annoy a billionaire. At the end of the day, the reason why he left is we're not kissing his butt. That's the bottom line. He wants to be his butt kissed, just like Nevada did to Elon Musk. And I don't think New York needs the jobs. We've got a lot of tech jobs, top location. Keep it a top location, make it competitive for everybody, but deliver infrastructure, quality employees.
We may not need it, but it would have been beneficial. And I don't see it necessarily as purely just about taxes. I think it's also about they don't want the negative publicity. They've got plenty of negative publicity going on right now. And so just adding that with New York is just one more step of saying, look, I'm out. I'm done.
We had Governor Cuomo saying to his party, we can't go back to tax the rich well anymore, that the 1% pay 46% of our taxes. This comes after last year when Governor Brown admitted in California the 1% pays 48% of our taxes. So this whole idea of going after and hijacking the wealth of the 1%, it ain't working no more.
Now, wealth is mobile, Charles, and that's what everybody needs to understand. If you are going to overtax the rich in one place, they're simply going to migrate to another. And the bigger picture here is that the states are competing. They're competing to attract wealthy taxpayers, and they're competing to attract corporations. And that's the bottom line.
But in the meantime, though, we do see